Present.
Councilmember Evans?
Present.
Councilmember Hahn?
Here.
Councilmember Fernandez?
Here.
Councilmember Maestas?
Present.
Okay. Sheriff, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
It's my honor, sir.
We'll remain standing for a brief moment of silence for all those communities, including ours, that we have this virus that is affecting the lives of many, many people, and that it'll subside and we'll find ways to mitigate or find ways to help in this mitigation. So. Thank you. So we have approval of the agenda, Council?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Call for the vote.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Hahn?
Yes.
Councilmember Maestas?
Yes.
Councilmember Fernandez?
Yes.
Okay, go on to matters from staff. Discussion, consideration, and possible approval of Resolution 2010, the declaration of health emergency for the town of Taos. Mr. Bellis?
Mr. Mayor, first I want to note for the record that this is an emergency meeting, but we have complied with the requirements for local government emergency meeting and the declaration of an emergency action, consistent with the Open Meetings Act. And it was published. A copy of this will be sent to the governor's office and the attorney general's office immediately following the meeting, along with those actions that are taken by the council. The first resolution 2010, based on the evidence of the World Health Organization declaring a global pandemic, the governor of the state of New Mexico declaring a state of emergency, the Health Secretary issuing a public health order, and the President of the United States, as of 3 p.m. today, officially declaring a state of health emergency for the United States, and directing that all states activate the FEMA/DHS mandated emergency determination of an emergency operations center. The action is being taken to, Francella, can you scroll down to the therefores? To invoke those financial, planning, and police powers and other additional resources that become available to the town through the declarations at the federal level as well as the state level and under the powers granted to local governments through a formal declaration of a state of emergency. While we do not have any active cases in the town as of yet, CDC and WHO are indicating that all communities should act as though you do have them, and it does not hurt for us to invoke preventive and containment measures at this time to limit, to the extent possible, any outbreak that we might have. As is typical, because we may not have all the people available, consistent with our pandemic plan, we have a secession order. So it identifies that the order of secession will be that you're granting the authority that the mayor, if he is not available, that the pro tem, and then Councilman Hahn, they ask you to go 3 deep on these, would be available for that signature that normally is the mayor. In the case of the manager, it would be Linda, the Grants and Revenue Enhancement Director, and after that, the Finance Director. It increases the limits from 60 for the mayor to 100,000 for the manager, to 30 to 100,000. It establishes a fund to be set up, which would be our 55 fund, our one-time fund at this time. So we have sufficient monies in there, and this would be the appropriate purpose. As the emergency account, there's a sub-account already set up by the finance director within that. The reason for doing that is so that you can track that if there are eligible reimbursements from the state or federal level as a result of the declarations, which it appears there probably will be after 3 p.m. announcement, that you have a separate accounting record of those expenses that are eligible. The expenses that we anticipate having are increased overtime if people become sick or we need special measures, purchase of safety-related items, and particularly we're ordering a series of laptops and additional VPNs for work at home for managers and the next person within each department that is available. We may be setting up additional desks at this building so that if you have a number 1 and a number 2 person in a 2-person department, they're not working at the same desk. They're physically separated. I have asked as part of the plan, and our managers have turned in those essential services. So under preventive, you can anticipate we've ordered literally 55-gallon barrels of antiseptic, masks, gloves, additional filters and respirators for the fire department, disposable hazmat gear, and we're basically planning for folks to either work at distance or to be able to work at home. Additionally, there's a provision to provide monies if needed. If you've been to the grocery store last night and you went at 10 o'clock and were looking for hamburger or something, you probably wound up eating hot dogs, I guess. So there may be, in a situation particularly where people are isolated and told to stay within their homes, where they run out of food. And under the Indigent Act, we are permitted to provide public assistance in terms of medicine, food, water, travel assistance. I'm hoping we don't need to invoke that, but usually you try to get everything into the one resolution. I think that covers it unless you have any specific questions, but we feel that obviously this was written and then just changed today to reflect the additional declarations, but we certainly have more than enough grounds to be able to invoke this. You also activate the emergency management team, and in the next resolution, you outline what the responsibilities are that they have.
No questions from me, Mr. Mayor.
Any questions, Council? Councilman Maestas?
Mr. Bellis, what do you need from us? How can we help?
Read the plan. At this point, it's evolving very quickly. We're meeting on a daily basis, and I'll use this opportunity so that we can get this to the public. Our responsibility under the invocation of these powers is that we are responsible for continuity of operations, which means that we determine what are the essential services that we need to provide for the public on the one hand, and of course those are water, sewer, fire, police. The basics, operate the airport in case somebody needs to evacuation, and that we have a business continuity plan inside. Can we pay our bills? Can we do the normal operations like any business? Do we have a sufficient cash flow? Do we have alternative vendors? Do we have backup people that if our electrician gets sick and we only have one electrician, how do we take care of that? Do we have contracts already in place to be able to execute? We're really way ahead of this. I think we're pretty good on this. We started 2 weeks ago, and we're where we're being told to be today. But so the role will evolve. We will periodically ask one of you to sit in on a session just so there's continuity of keeping the council informed of what we're doing. But I think if you understand the plan, it's pretty straightforward. in what we have to do, who's going to do it, when you change things. And for the benefit of the public, we are not in command of anything outside of our role as the town in municipal services. If it involves the businesses, if it involves the hospital, if it involves orders to close meetings, to gatherings, the EOC, or Emergency Operations Center, so the person in charge, so to speak, is the health department director, and the health department will be directing down to the rest of us, to law enforcement and everyone else, how they want things to run. Above him is the governor. The mayor and I are going to run out of here and have a phone call with the aviation folks about what they want us to do at the airport. So again, while we don't mind the public calling us and asking us questions and to clarify, please understand that we, for the most part, are not going to be making the policies that are going to govern your life from here on. They're going to come out, particularly now that there's a federal order to form an EOC at the state level. They will come from the governor, or they will come from the state health department.
So we just want to get ahead of this, and stay ahead of it. Some of the things that we'll make decisions on closings and stuff like that, is to get ahead of it. It seems that there's not physical contact. There's different things that need to be put in place. So this is part of it. So I just hope that we can all move forward to make sure that our community is as safe as we possibly can make it. And again, those essential services are so critical. We want to make sure we have water, we want to make sure we have sewer, we want to make sure that our police department, our fire department is whole, and then we make sure that our employees and families within our community are safe, and we try to mitigate any additional spread of this virus. So this is going to all be part of the whole plan within the community. And so, Mr. Bellis?
Mr. Mayor, just other than a short note that an email did go out internally to all staff in regards to closures of non-essential services. I think we'll start at the things people are usually interested in the most. Concerts, sporting events, all of the sport associations have declared an indefinite, the seasons are not going to happen. Little League, if you're in Little League, the state tournament will not happen because there won't be a season to practice. Concerts, all of the larger promoters got together, AEG, Live Nation, and decided everything's done for the year. We are asking that all of our contracts be continued, and that when the schedule is reinstated, that they agree a year from now, which is what we anticipate it'll be, that they all be honored. We have reason to believe that'll be the case. The closings, as of 5 o'clock today, will be the Visitor Center, the library, and the Guadalupe Gym. We're simply not able to staff or provide sufficient disinfecting for the Guadalupe Gym. The Youth and Family Center will close on Saturday. Beyond that, we don't have any other closings scheduled. I want to reassure all the employees, and the letter has already gone to them doing that there will be no layoffs. This is an opportunity for us to get in. You can imagine every surface that's touched in the library. So we can't guarantee the health and safety of either the public or the staff. We don't want this to get ahead of us. So we're going to close for a while. We're going to do a full cleaning of everything in the buildings. We're going to inspect our ventilation systems where we can improve things, like putting up glass counters, drop boxes for people to put things in so that they don't have to physically come in a building. We will be installing those. I think that covers as regards to the public. As regards to the staff, we're putting hand sanitizers at all of the clocks. We disinfect all the door handles in the buildings at the beginning and the end of the day, and the conference rooms, like this room, will get disinfected after we leave here. The changes for the public that they should note are, wherever possible, and this just doesn't apply to us, most entities, whether it's us or Kit Carson or the county or whoever you deal with, have a way for you to get information online without help. If you need help, we can guide you through by the phone. You should be making your payments electronically, doing everything you can electronically to minimize your contact with people. We will be doing that. So if you come to the town hall, you will no longer just wander in the building. You'll come into the lobby, you'll talk to the people in utility building. Building HR and planning will have a representative there at the window that you can work with. You don't need to come into the back of the building. That eliminates a lot of area that we have to keep disinfecting for people. So it's keeping you safe as the public, as well as our staff. Again, I want to reiterate that while this says emergency, the word is being used to invoke powers that allow us financially and in doing planning and being eligible for federal and state assistance, including those people that are in the community. The President's bill, which it looks like the Congress is just going to pass too, will allow for those people that are in hourly jobs that don't have unemployment or benefits, that there will be financial assistance to them. So our having plans in place to show that we were prepared for this is important to be able to rapidly access that. Us in the county, I'm presuming the county will be the lead on the official declarations for most of these things. So that's it. Again, there is no need to panic. This isn't going to disappear tomorrow or go away anytime soon. So I think once you've stocked your entire closet with toilet paper, that's probably enough. You know, so it's, if we're all calm, we can wait this out. And Taos, I think, is in and New Mexico in general are in a very good spot with over 200 people now tested. Only 10 presumptives have come back, none confirmed by CDC. Presumptive is the state has done the test and sees that the person has the symptoms, and something in the test indicated that until it's confirmed by CDC, and we did have that first lady from Bernalillo was a presumptive, but then CDC found her to be negative. All of these people that we're checking are travel related. They got it somewhere else, they're bringing it here, they've been identified early, they're being isolated. So we have a great chance, really. This is one of the few times being rural really has a major benefit to us, that we've got more control on this, and we had more time and we got ahead of the curve as opposed to other areas. So our team feels very positive about this, that we can create a great outcome for the community. And with that, Mr. Mayor, I would ask council, unless there are any other questions, if you would pass the resolution before you.
And just want to say there's been additional, school closures, there's been additional safeguards that are elderly facilities. There's been postings, so they're trying to make sure that people aren't entering there that are sick, and trying to keep as many people out of there as possible, because those are the most vulnerable. So again, there's safeguards, and those, this is not something that the town is doing, it's something that's being done by the state. So again, hopefully that our community realizes that we're trying to do the best we possibly can and the best job we possibly can. And we have a resilient community. I think, it's a great time to know your neighbor. As I said on the radio, it's a great time to, and who is your neighbor? Everybody in this community are neighbors. And we just want to make sure that we come together, and if somebody's having an issue, that we can find some kind of resolution. So again, thank you, council, for helping, and let's try to make the best out of not so great situation.
All right, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 20-10.
I'll second.
I have a motion and second. Any further discussion? Not, call for the vote.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Fernandez?
Yes.
Councilmember Han?
Yes.
Councilmember Maestas?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, before you move to the next resolution, I know people were asking about it. The official word from TSV, Towski Valley, is that the area will close March 22nd. Air service from Taos Air will stop on March 22nd. The World Pro Ski event is canceled. The Blake will close March 22nd. And again, I would say the air service and the concerts, we are not abandoning those. So this is going to be a very tough season for the town and the businesses. But we want you to know that we're maintaining, we got a great summer planned. Unfortunately, it probably won't happen, but we are maintaining all of that so that we are ready to go next year as quickly as possible to supercharge and put extra money into the economy to get it rolling.
Okay, so we'll go on to item B, discussion, consideration, possible approval of resolution 2011, a resolution of the Town of Taos amending resolution 1931, Town of Taos budget policies, section 10. Mr. Bellis.
Mr. Mayor, this resolution accompanies the first one. It activates the emergency management team formally, although we've obviously already been working pretty hard on this, and I appreciate all the staff members that have been giving us time. A lot of gut-wrenching, heartbreaking decisions because we are canceling things, postponing things that we were really excited about for the town. But it specifies the responsibilities. It reaffirms things you have said to the council previously when we have discussed this, that now once we go into this planning process, it explains that the ICS and NIM system take place. It accepts the plan that we have, and again, please understand that this is a draft. It is an ever-evolving document, and it recognizes that you as council recognize that the plan will, even though you're passing it now, will continue to evolve throughout the incident as we get more information or the circumstances change and we move into a different phase. In addition, at the end of the incident, there's an after-action report and a debriefing, which you do, and you take the recommendations of that, go back to the plan and incorporate those recommendations. So it says that we will keep you informed of any substantial changes that were mandated to do to the plan during the incident by any of the federal or state agencies, as well as that we will come back to you at the end of the incident with the changes, the after-action report that explain how we did and what we learned.
All right.
What is the wish of the council?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 20-11.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I should say one of the reasons you're adopting this is that in the action plan part, which lists all the things we're going to do, that gives authority, legal authority to HR, to myself, to the other people to say, like, particularly with our CBA, that we need to change your hours or move you to a different location so that we can continue to give you a job and react flexibly to the incident.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, we have discussion. Not, call for the vote.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Han?
Yes.
Councilmember Maestas?
Yes.
Councilmember Fernandez?
Yes.
And Rick, you might want to speak a little bit about out-of-state travel. I don't think you covered that in the first part, and you know, we banned.
We are adopting the same standards that the governor has adopted for state employees, which he has recommended, and I'm imagining pretty quickly will mandate for local governments, which is all out-of-state travel. In fact, at this point, any travel is suspended until we have clearer idea of the guidelines. If you leave the state, and we do understand there may be circumstances, a family member may pass or something, you will be required to, when you return home, have at least 14 days from the time you returned home. If you are free of any symptoms, or 14 days from the end of any of your symptoms before you can return to work. I do want the council to understand that those that do not have leave, there will be a memo coming out shortly that makes it clear that if you are sick, stay home. If you have a family member that's sick, stay home. If you don't have leave, you will be granted administrative leave. Nobody will be penalized for this.
Good.
Okay. Any further questions, comments? Not. We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Let's all be safe.
Thank you, council.